Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here, welcome back to my channel. So on this little video I'm going to be showing you a bit of a versus, and that is the Mad Dog biscuits versus petroleum jelly and a cotton ball. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So as stated, we're going to be doing a quick little versus, and that is the Mad Dog fire biscuits versus the standard sort of cotton ball, 100% cotton, soaked in petroleum jelly or Vaseline. And we're going to do a head-to-head comparison. So just let me pan you down here a little ways. So what I've done, I've just completed a fresh batch of my Mad Dog biscuits, and these basically are 100% cotton disc. And people say like the makeup disc, etc. Yes, it is that as the base. I then soak it in something and then I leave it to cure. I then dip it in my container of wax mix, and this is where my biscuits are different to just a makeup pad dipped in wax. You can do that yourself and it works absolutely fine. You'll get 3 to 4 minutes of burn time, maybe 5. The content of the wax is important. I've spent a lot of time experimenting, testing, trying, failing and succeeding with different mixtures, you might say. So what I'm trying to say here is the Mad Dog biscuit, yes, it's basically a face pad, a makeup removing pad, but it is impregnated with an extra fuel, and the wax which is covering this isn't standard candle wax. It has a high content of paraffin. It's paraffin kerosene mix wax with other properties as well. Now you'll notice straight off the bat that when you get these, when you feel them, wow, they're very slippy, absolutely slippy. It's more slippy than standard candle wax. You'll notice if you buy any of these. And yes, they're not perfect in their presentation. There's speckles of carbon and char cloth and all sorts of stuff in there. But that's out of the container that I use to make all the products in. It is handcrafted in my shed, so it goes with the territory. But the actual substance that I put in the wax, it is all fuel based, it is all natural, and it gives off pretty much no odour other than wax. Just smells of wax basically. But the I don't know if this will pick up, but my hands are coated like a greasy, oily protective layer, which comes into what I'm trying to do this video about. Is if you do buy any of my Mad Dog biscuits, then don't just think they are a one-trick pony. They're not just firelighting biscuits. You can break these up, snap them, pretty much boss them open and roll them onto themselves like you would if you was going to ignite them. But then now you've got a wad of lubricated material which you can run up and down a zip. If you've got a problem with a zip or a knot in a zip, like we sometimes get where you get a chunk and it, oh, come on, boom, you know the score. Rub it up and down both sides of your zip with that, help lubricate it. The same with your knives, your tools, anything that you want to lubricate, even firearms, air rifles in the UK if you're not FAC rated, etc. You could use this as a makeshift lubrication. Snares, traps, triggers, anything that you need to make basically slippy or waterproof. You can use this up and down seams, tarps, tents, even guy lines, the top of guy lines where they go into something, or if you want water to run off of something into a catchment, etc. They will do the job. They're very, very waterproofing, as well as the flammability. Now before I go outside and light one of these up, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, a fresh one, not this one, get rid of that. I'm going to take one of those, crikey me, they are waxy, and I'm going to do a versus. So I'll just pan you back down here a little ways to the bench, do excuse me, and what I'm going to do is a standard cotton ball, scrupulous amounts of Vaseline, keep all this in camera shot as best as I can. So prepare this like you would a standard Vaseline firelighter cotton ball. So roll it round somewhat, make it nice and semi-waterproof, and you'd probably put 5 or 6 of these in your bag and you're ready to go. There we go. So I'm going to take that outside with one of these bad boys, a fresh one, and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of burn time, burn quality. So before we get into that, straight away I'm going to say this is definitely the cheaper option. I ain't going to lie to you, I'll tell you the absolute truth. I've carried these and I still do. Cotton balls dressed with Vaseline. I'm not going to lie, it's perfectly viable, absolutely foolproof firelighting method. So yes, why not? Totally agree. The only thing is, for me, yes, you can use petroleum jelly on wounds and all the rest of it if it's pharmaceutical grade, so there's a multi-use there, but other than that, this has a more long-term multi-use option in my opinion. Yes, you can use that for lubricant, yes you can use that to waterproof, etc., but it will diminish more quickly with time than a good quality kerosene paraffin waxed based material will. It's like, you know, the barber jacket, waxed cotton jacket versus a cheap one. You know, the proper original one always works better. These incidentally also make great pads for putting in your divot, you might say, if I'm doing a poor demonstration here, but in your divot for your hand socket or hand bearing for a bow drill fire, because the lubricating, it's already lubricated, sorry, and then when you get your ember established and you're blowing it to flame, you can then add that into your fire as an accelerant extender, if that makes sense. Tripping over myself there, but I hope you know what I mean. So yeah, these are just my, you might say, seconds deformed, sort of dirty, scruffy shed, not good enough to sell sort of thing. I've just made another batch. I think I've done 7 or 8 bags of those, something like that, just now. They do take a while, I'm not going to lie, because I have to prepare the pad, prepare the wax, heat them up, cool them down, turn them over, do the same, and then the bit where I've literally held them with my fingers, I don't use tools, I do it all literally by hand. And then I don't think there's one visible on here, but I just have to dab it in and make sure every bit of it is absolutely waterproof. I don't want anything of mine to fail. So right, we're going to go outside now and do a versus. Stay tuned. Alrighty, so we're at the shed. I'm going to start the time-lapse video of this as soon as I light the Mad Dog biscuit. So I'm just going to prep that now and just basically break it up, open the fibres. Like I say, it is slippy old stuff and it can be used for other things because of that lubricating quality. So I'm just going to open the fibres up, probably a little bit more there, okay, and then, wowzer, that is slippy. So I'm going to light that up first, then the cotton ball, just to give the cotton ball an unfair advantage. And as soon as I do so, like I say, I'm going to cut now and go to time lapse. Just let me bring in here a little closer so that you can see what I'm doing, because the lighting's not very good. There we go. So Mad Dog biscuit, and standard cotton ball with scrupulous amounts of Vaseline, petroleum jelly. Okay, let's go. Oh, crikey. So I'm going to call it there. I think that was 8-9 minutes, and as you can see, it's a windy day. There's absolutely no shielding other than what I've got around me, which is just my log store. No, there's no screens or anything. That is what you get. So it has actually set my log on fire. So you should have no trouble at all excuse me, establishing a campfire, you know, in most conditions. I'll say with this, I'll be honest, you know, like I always am. The only situation where this may struggle is if you're in a situation where you've got massively high humidity, as in 100% humidity. But then in that case, most things you will struggle to burn or ignite initially and maintain that flame because of the moisture content in the air. But over in the northern hemisphere, northern Europe, you might say, not a problem at all. You know, I've used this in minus conditions. Well, it's just gone out. I believe that was around 10-11 minutes. But I've used these in most conditions that this country can throw at me. Right down to, I think it was -8, something like that. One year we had -8, -9, no problem at all. And like my mate Reaper has shown, you can absolutely throw these in a bucket of water. They'll be good, they'll still be true, they'll still work for you. You can leave them in that bucket of water overnight, they'll still work, won't be a problem. Yes, they're waxy, like I've said, yes, they're waxy. But that's the nature of them. That's part of the waterproofing and part of the fuel. So, you know, take it or leave it sort of thing. Like I said, there is multiple uses for that waxy texture, not just the firelighting aspect. So again, multi-use item. I'm going to call it quits there for now. I think I've bored you all enough. But I just wanted to prove the point. There's no editing on this. That straight through time-lapse burn was literally straight through. With me messing about in between just to kill the boredom. Maybe you've gone and had a cup of tea or redecorated your house in that time. But you know, I'm just trying to show you an honest, truthful representation of what you get when I supply these things. So, as always, thank you all very much for your continued support. I really appreciate your views, and people that leave comments, good or bad, I'm not bothered. You're all welcome. It is what it is. I can't please everybody all the time. So I love the haters as much as I love the lovers. So until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah.